It's Jonathan, and welcome to today's Masters in Trading Live. So once in a while, guys, the trade gets very difficult, and right now the trade is very, very difficult. Market's acting very, very weird, and I have you on the QQQs. I've been talking about the QQQs kind of consolidating or coiling for a little bit now, but it is coiling for sure. So we do need to watch out for this, guys. I'm a big believer that we can all draw trend lines and everyone's going to have a little bit different of a trend line, but without a doubt, this market is coiling. So when that happens, be a little careful. I think that we are going to break out on the upside or the downside. I sure as hope the upside, but with how this market is moving, when the market coils like this, it is gaining steam, it is gaining energy, and it is going to break out one way or the other. Let's look at a longer term chart, and then you can really see it on the weekly. The market is just consolidating. It's looking for a direction. Inside week, and an inside week for a weekly is lower high and then a higher low. So QQQ, we're going to come down and watch this level down here, 700. The Qs are absolutely coiling up. Let's look at your IWM. Not that much going on. 294. Watch that 293 level. And then if we look at the SPY, kind of the same thing, guys. I think the QQQ is leading right now. We will break out, whether we're going to break out to the downside, whether we break out to the upside. I'm still bullish. I still think we're going to jump to the upside, but it's a very, very difficult trade right now. Let's also remember it is in the heart of the summer. Markets slow down, liquidity slows down in the summer. So we can have a little bit more volatility and a little bit more kind of what I like to call slippery moves. People up checking our Discord looking for short exposure. Something to consider, guys. And I have China stocks right here, and I got a list of a basket of China stocks that I follow. And for those who have been following China, unfortunately, we've been trading KWEB. We got in KWEB too early, and that trade didn't work out. But if we look at what BABA has been doing, BABA got down to 90. I think it was at the bottom of its expected move. Just check the expected move chart, because I'm pretty sure BABA got right down to its expected move before she bounced. Yeah. BABA stays within its expected move. Let's see. Let's put her on 3 years. Stays within its expected move 72% of the time, a high probability of the time. Well, broke through, obviously very, very weak, but it got caught on the support of the expected move, rallied, gapped up again, right at its expected move. But this Friday, we're going to get new expected moves. So these expected moves, their volatility, they stay fixed throughout that 30 days. Or throughout that expiration. And then the third Friday, we get new expected move lines. So yeah, we're right at the top, but we're going to get a new expected move lines. But if we go through all the China names, PDD, same thing, just like BABA, just like BABA, just like BABA, right? NetEase, strong. It rallied before BABA, pulling back a little bit. Really, really healthy looking chart. There's NetEase, JD, same thing, right? JD 77%. So what I'm trying to show you is it's the sector that's bouncing. So right now, US is weakening, China is strengthening. So instead of looking for short exposure, I want you to consider having exposure to these Chinese stocks, Chinese ADRs. JD, kind of interesting, daily low 29.4, high of these 2 days 29.4, 29.20. So that's going to be some main support. But Baidu, XPEV, NEO. Not a big fan of NEO, actually. Lee looks interesting. Lee, let's go back. We'll go back and look at Lee. Billy, KWeb, and then ASHR as well. I'm going to look at two. I'm curious about ASHR, and then I want to go back and look at that Li as well. Those are going to be my two favorite for Chinese exposure right now. ASHR is actually a really cool trade because if you look at the chart of ASHR, I like to say it's gappy. And when we say gappy, it means that it closes at this level and it can reopen at another level. It looks like, if you look at the chart, it looks like, oh, there's probably not great liquidity in the options. But for whatever reason, the stock is gappy, right under its 100 period moving average, actually. Really, really strong support at 34 for ASHR. So that might be interesting, looking at something 35, 36 strike. Volatility is not that expensive in ASHR. Let's look at Li. Li, it just got absolutely crushed. I'd rather be playing in ASHR. So small cap China ETF. So let's go look at the options. ASHR, let's see, August, quite a bit of open interest right here. Some people think this might be quite a bit, but it's not. They're valued at a dime, so it's really just not that much money. This is interesting, though. These 57,000, this guy's serious. So if anything, these October 36s, guys, mid-market, 57,000 on the open interest, that's quite a bit. And as you guys can see, 14 up here. I still like the October better, but US feels weak. China feels strong. So follow Baba. Baba is the $300 billion alpha male of China. What's the FIXI doing? And FIXI, the same thing, large caps. What about if we look at FIXI against ASHR? I like saying ASHR because my youngest son name is ASHR, so not that that has any relevance for this trade. 3 years. Let's go back. Always want to look at data first, and then after looking at data, we want to slowly get closer and closer. This is why we look at divergences, guys, though. ASHR is going to be the light blue. FIXI is going to be large caps. So large caps sell off. Small caps are catching up. I really like this ASHR trade now after looking at this longer term chart even more, but always look out for your divergences. And here, kind of interesting, the white is going to be FIXI, FXI, large cap. Got inexpensive or cheap relative to ASHR. It's catching up, but these are really, really good divergences to follow. And it's about waiting and being patient. But right now, with the risk in U.S. stocks, I do think that the China stocks are holding up really, really well. But we do have to watch that consolidation in those QQQs. What else we got? Copper pretty strong, pulling back just a little bit. We have some earnings names. I do love me some Irene down here. Irene is another name which is one of my favorite holdings, and Irene, right down by its expected move, is another name that I would feel pretty confident being in Irene for even a longer term trade. Let's go look at those options for Irene. Irene from Blackhawk down when they went into Somalia. Their code sign, Irene. Wow. Stocks at 40. If we go double in the price, if we double it in price and then we go look at the delta is going to tell you the likelihood that that position ends up in the money. But just to show you how volatile Irene is capable of being, if we double the price, I guess there's a 5% chance that Irene trades up there. 13% it gets over 65. 40% it gets over 47. So when you use delta, The easiest way to use delta is use it as the likelihood that your position ends up in the money. And for people who are interested in Irene, you can look at those August 37s, 70 strike. That's a pretty fun trade. Now, in our advanced notice, we have a position in Irene, so let's not add to it, but that's some juicy upside skew as well, where people are coming for those 65. So Irene, not a bad play, and I really, really like those China exposure, especially with volatility increasing in the U.S. markets. That's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much. Jonathan Rose, Masters in Trading.